People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you People's State Bank and Grant Regional Health Center coverage of high school sports. Presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And sponsored by Bouse Electric, Brian's Auto Body and Paint, Vitech Incorporated, Carver's Hardwood Flooring, Claire Bank, Donnie's Tire and Auto, Fuller's Milker Center, Gary's Pest Control, Community First Bank, Guy's Truck and Tractor Service, Hermson's Ace Hardware, Krantz Auto Parts, the Peterson Agency, the Raleigh Cheese House, Mound City Bank, the Russell Law Office, the Shoebox, Sloan Implement, Timmerman's Talents, Tricor Insurance, and Wolf Construction.
After Lancaster's victory in Tuesday night's regional quarterfinal for them, a quick trip down County Road A and up Highway 151 for a rematch of the season opener against the Mineral Point Pointers in the regional semifinals. Good evening and welcome to this Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school postseason girls basketball, presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Tonight, the Lancaster Flying Arrows are in town and are getting set to take on the Mineral Point Pointers in this girls basketball regional semifinal game. Broadcasting live tonight from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, I'm Matthew Gannon, and what an exciting one we've got on hand between these two teams. Mineral Point tied for first place in their conference, the Southwest Wisconsin Activities League. On the other side, it was Lancaster, who came in third in the Southwest Wisconsin Conference, just behind the very talented Hillman and Prairie du Chien Blackhawks. So going to be a great one here tonight. As I mentioned, these two teams have seen each other before this. They saw each other at the start of the year. Mineral Point won that game 70-36. That one was in Lancaster at the end of November. So the question is, how big is the gap between the 4-seed Pointers and the 5-seed Arrows? Lancaster, as you'll hear from Coach Feller in our Raleigh Cheese pregame show coaches interview, really felt like her team played a pretty solid game overall against the Iowa Grant Panthers, short of that stretch in the early part of the second half for those of you who saw that one on Tuesday where Iowa Grant had a chance to get back into that one. So we'll see if they're able to stay with Mineral Point and really put together a full basketball game. On the other side, Mineral Point dealing with some injuries that they've had throughout the back half of this season to two players pretty high up in their rotation. You'll hear more about that from Coach Nick Jelly coming up in our Raleigh Cheese pregame show, coaches interviews. Mineral Point going to play very physical tonight. They're a better threat from deep, and for Lancaster, can they manage those threats, and can they play the offense they want to play it by cutting to the basket and seeing what they can score inside on some of those drives? We'll figure out the answer to all of that and more coming up next, as I had the chance to speak with Coach Courtney Feller of the Arrows and Coach Nick Jelly of the Mineral Point Pointers on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show. This is the Raleigh Cheese pregame show, presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. Courtney Feller, the head coach of the Lancaster Flying Arrows, after these messages on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pre-game one. Farming is risky business. Protecting your business means managing risk. That's where Tricor Insurance comes in.
When we're working with our clients or our future clients, it's really important that we understand the business that they're in. Our role is to help make these businesses more successful.
Tricor Insurance works with Grinnell Mutual to design insurance packages built uniquely for you and your farm or agribusiness. Tricor Insurance and Grinnell Mutual are ready to work for you.
When you're faced with a challenge, how you respond determines the real winners. Rural Mutual believes there's something more important than winning a game. They believe that the team, school, and fans who support their athletes with dignity and class are the true champions. Rural Mutual is the proud sponsor of the WIAA Rural Mutual Insurance Sportsmanship Award since 1965. The award recognizes that sportsmanship matters in your community. Visit ruralmutual.com/WIAA and see how their team and your community can work together to be true champions.
Your farm is more than land. It's a legacy. But do you have a plan for its future? Join Compeer Financial's Agri-Mindset Transition Planning Webinar on March 12th at 1 p.m. Estate planning attorney Brooke Didier-Starks will share practical steps to get started and tackle the tough questions with Dr. Megan Roberts, Compeer Ag economist, guiding the conversation. Take the next step. Register now for the March 12th webinar at compeer.com/webinar.
Big savings and great incentives are waiting for you at Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque. Now through March 3rd, shop Anderson Weber's wide selection of new Toyota trucks with savings of up to $4,000 off MSRP. Finance a 2025 Tundra as low as 1.99% APR for 48 or 60 months. Visit Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque or AndersonWeberToyota.com for selection and to find out if you qualify for special financing. Anderson Weber Toyota, when you're ready.
Pre-game one.
Welcome back to the Rally Cheese pregame show on ESPN Radio, AM 1590, WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Tonight, we're at Mineral Point High School as the Arrows get set for their second game of this postseason run, taking on the hosts, Mineral Point Pointers. We are now joined by Coach Courtney Feller, the head coach of the Arrows. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
All right, so first I want to ask you about your regional quarterfinal game against Iowa Grant, a game where you dominated for nearly the whole game, apart from a short period in the middle of the second half. What did you and your Arrows take away from that game?
I mean, yeah, biggest thing, like you said, dominated the first half. We just know that we've got to put two full halves together. We can't have a lull in scoring, and we can't give up so many points on defense either.
Yeah, now one thing I want to ask you is some different philosophies that coaches have, and do you think that playing a regional quarterfinal game is going to give your team an advantage here tonight, considering Mineral Point did not play on Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely talked about that as well. An advantage in the sense of like this at this point in the season, sometimes like 3 days of practice in a row, 3-4 can be a lot. So we were grateful to play, but then also on the other side of that too, like I mean, they could watch that game, they could kind of see what we were doing. But no, we were happy to play. Our girls, I mean, obviously love to play basketball, so getting one more game in just to kind of prepare for this is what we wanted.
Of course. Now, you did see the Pointers early in November where they defeated you in Lancaster. What have you seen from the Pointers as the year has gone on that's changed from the first time that you saw them?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like they were pretty solid that first game of the year. We know they like to play a lot of pressure on defense. They've got lots of girls that can score. So, I mean, they've got pretty balanced scoring, lots of threats. So they've grown this since that first game, but so have we.
All right, now for Russell Law Office's injury report. Are there any injuries to report before tonight's game in Mineral Point?
Nope, we are healthy.
All right, and then last question for you here. What will it take to flip the script from that first time in November and take down Mineral Point?
We really need to take care of the basketball. We need to handle the pressure better, take care of the ball, and then just kind of slow them down as well. Like I said, lots of threats, so we know we've got to play really good defense tonight.
All right, thank you to Coach Courtney Feller for joining us on the Rally Cheese pregame show. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks so much.
Once again, that's Coach Courtney Feller of the Lancaster Flying Arrows. You'll hear from Coach Nick Jelly of the Mineral Point Pointers after these messages on the Rally Cheese pregame show. This is high school postseason girls basketball on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pre-game two.
Did you know that Mound City Bank offers free checking to nonprofit organizations? In addition, we offer interest-bearing checking, money market, savings, and certificate of deposit accounts with competitive rates. Every nonprofit checking account includes a free debit card along with many extras. Stop by or call us in Cuba City at 608-744-2141 for more details or any questions. Mound City Bank is proud to be here for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Find the help you need at the Queen Bee Radio Andrews Egg Supply Home and Outdoor Show Saturday, March 22nd, 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Lancaster. Admission is free. Talk to businesses that offer products and services that can save you time and money. Enjoy lunch from the Lancaster High School baseball team. Plus, we're giving away tickets to Tim McGraw at the Field of Dreams. Sign up to win at the Queen Bee Radio Home and Outdoor Show Saturday, March 22nd in Lancaster.
Better health starts here, and that means getting the care you need close to home when you need it. Grant Regional Health Center offers a wide variety of outpatient services, including wound care, IV infusions, injections, blood transfusions, antibiotic therapy, and much more. We've expanded our offerings to better serve you. Before you travel out of town or hours away, call us at 608-723-1309 to inquire about receiving outpatient services here. Grant Regional Health Center. Better health starts here.
Your farm is more than land. It's a legacy. But do you have a plan for its future? Join Compeer Financial's Agri-Mindset Transition Planning Webinar on March 12th at 1 p.m. Estate planning attorney Brooke Didier-Starks will share practical steps to get started and tackle the tough questions with Dr. Megan Roberts, Compeer Ag economist, guiding the conversation. Take the next step. Register now for the March 12th webinar at compeer.com/webinar.
Pregame 2.
Back on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show, and tonight postseason basketball continues as we've got Lancaster at Mineral Point in the regional semifinals on ESPN Radio, AM 1590, WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. We are now joined by Nick Jelly, the head coach of the Mineral Point Pointers. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
All right, so looking back at your schedule this year, while you were 13-1 in SWAL play, you also went 5-5 in your very challenging non-conference slate. However, your first non-conference game and first game of the year was against Lancaster, and it was a big win for your Pointers. How do you think it'll help you tonight, having played the Arrows earlier this year?
Yeah, I mean, we don't look at that too much. I mean, it was our first game, their first game. They've gotten better. You know, we've gotten better. So, you know, and their starting lineup is different from when they first started, so we don't take too much into it. It's just kind of what they've done recently and what we've done recently.
Yeah, and looking at this last stretch for your Pointers here, you have won 11 of your last 12 heading into the postseason. Do you feel like there's any momentum with this team that you can feel as you start your playoff push tonight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think our second half of the season has been really good. I mean, like you mentioned before, that first part of our schedule is really tough, but, you know, you play those types of games to prepare you for this time of year.
All right, now, well, Lancaster did play a regional quarterfinal game on Tuesday against Iowa Grant. Your Pointers got the bye. How have your girls stayed game ready since the last time you took the floor, which has now been just about a week ago?
Yeah, you know, it's nice to get the rest. I mean, especially this time of year. But you know, during practices and kind of stuff, the intensity during practice is really what kept us going.
All right, and for our Russell Wall office's injury report tonight, please tell me about the injuries that some of your girls are dealing with here tonight.
We're pretty healthy. I mean, obviously, Sadie Miller and Bree Swenson are two big injuries that won't be with us tonight. But you know, that's been with us. That's kind of been the situation for about half the season here. So we're kind of used to it, and the girls have stepped up and are ready to go.
All right, now last question for you. What will it take for your Pointers to defeat the Flying Arrows for the second time this season and advance to the regional finals once again this year?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to shoot it well. I mean, that's kind of been our thing, and I think rebounding is going to be big for us. Lancaster really crashes the boards hard, and the Jessica Morgan girl is really good, so we got to control her as well.
In tonight's regional semifinals, it's Lancaster and Mineral Point. We would like to thank Coach Nick Jelly for joining us on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show. Good luck tonight, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Once again, that's Coach Nick Jelly, the Mineral Point Pointers. We'll wrap up the Raleigh Cheese pregame show after this on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 3.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors of Belmont and Prairie du Chien is who to call for top quality CHI overhead doors. Enhance the curb appeal and security of your home by choosing the fine line of CHI overhead doors from Carey's. And when it comes to seamless gutters that keep your home protected from water damage, Carey's has you covered too. Visit Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com today to learn more. They'll service all the rest, and they deal in the best. Get your new CHI overhead doors at Carey's Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont and Prairie du Chien.
Pregame 3.
Back on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel as we get set for this Friday night's WIA Regional Semifinal between the 5th-seeded Flying Arrows of Lancaster and the 4th-seeded Mineral Point Pointers. I'd like to thank coaches Courtney Feller and Nick Jelly for their time in those pregame interviews. And in those interviews, you heard the Russell Law Office's injury report. If you've been injured, contact Russell Law Offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLawWI.com. Now a quick check on the Shoebox scoreboard. Presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Other activities going on today in high school girls hoops, apart from what's going on in Madison for wrestling, which, by the way, you can catch on 97.7 Country, WGLR. In SWAL girls basketball action in this regional semifinal round, Parkview is in Cuba City, and Darlington is in Belleville. Elsewhere, Broadhead's at Platteville, River Valley is at Prairie du Chien, and a full slate of 6 Rivers games, New Glarus and Argyle Beck, PC and Barneveld, Blackhawk and Belmont, River Ridge and Wazeeka-Steuben, Ithaca and Shellsburg and Ozaki against Albany Monticello on the Shoebox scoreboard. Presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Now time for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. For the Lancaster Flying Arrows, starting a 5'8 senior, number 10, Maddie Nielsen. A 5'10 senior, number 13, Nicole Kelly. A 5'6 junior, number 14, Kylie Olmstead. A 5'9 sophomore, number 23, Addison Morgan. And a 6-foot senior, number 52, Jessica Morgan. And on the other side for the Mineral Point Pointers, starting a junior, number 1, Jaden Schultz. A senior, number 10, Lacey Lindsay. A junior, number 21, Maddie Cabot. A senior, number 22, Eliza Ingwell. And a senior, number 24, Ella Kroll. Those are starting lineups for both sides. We'll take another break, and we'll bring you our first half after this on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 1.
Hello, Dr. Matt here from Cuba City Family Dental. Something we take pride in is having 3 state-of-the-art facilities in Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington. Our investment in the latest technology and innovative services allows us to provide top-notch dental care to our area families. Take control of your oral health and make an appointment with our team, and let's make your smile the best it can be. Contact Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental now, and let's start this journey together. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Get spring started at the Queen Bee Radio Andrews Ag Supply Home and Outdoor Show Saturday, March 22nd from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Lancaster. Talk to Zephyr Aluminum about quality windows, doors, and custom mirrors. And when you need a barn or shed, be sure to connect with Northland Buildings. Plus, one lucky attendee will win tickets to see Tim McGraw at the Field of Dreams this summer. The Queen Bee Radio Andrews Ag Supply Home and Outdoor Show Saturday, March 22nd in Lancaster. In Game 1.
There's the end of the national anthem, brought to you tonight at Mineral Point High School, live by the Mineral Point High School Pep Band. About to get underway in this one as we introduce our starting lineups here at Mineral Point High School. Next, we'll get to our colors of the game, presented by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. First, for the visitors from Lancaster, they're wearing their away royal blue uniforms. Those uniforms, Jordan with Lancaster across the chest in yellow, numbers in yellow as well, yellow accents on the pants. And for the home, Mineral Point Pointers in their home white Nike uniforms with pointers across the chest in baby blue, numbers in baby blue on the front and back with baby blue and royal blue accents on those. Those are the colors of the game tonight. We'll tell you also, before we get started here, that tonight's game is brought to you by Mound City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop at a Mound City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at moundcitybank.com. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFbank.com. Member FDIC. H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, serving you in Fenimore, Lancaster, and Boscobel. Always on call, always the right call. H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, serving Southwest Wisconsin 24/7 since 1958. Rural Mutual Agents, John Raggett and Deneen Dahl with Raggett & Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your personal, business, farm, and life insurance needs. Call them today at their office in Lancaster, and brought to you by Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque. Powering our audio stream, Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, when you are ready. It's time to get underway with our first supply, first half, here at Mineral Point High School. Going to be a great one between the Arrows and the Pointers. Winner will either, depending on what happens in Cuba City, host or travel to Cuba City tomorrow night in the regional finals, and we're underway. Tip goes to Lancaster, and it's a quick 2 for Annie Martin. Annie Martin picks up the 2 there to make the score 2-0 early. Lindsay will drive, pop, deflected there by Olmsted. Arrows going the other way. Martin, she fouled out in the regional quarterfinal against Iowa Grant. Will back it out here to Addison Morgan. Morgan swings it over here to Nielsen, now up top to Olmsted. Olmsted drives. Jessica Morgan running into trouble, throws that one into the hands of the Mineral Point bench. It's an Arrow turnover. Brought to you today by Farmers Implement and Mineral Point, proudly supporting Mineral Point Pointer basketball. At Farmers Implement and Mineral Point, service has been a tradition for over 40 years. We have what you need to get the job done. Here come the Pointers. Ingwell cuts to the hoop. She's blocked. Rebound. Lindsay. 3-ball. No good. Mineral Point bringing pressure in the full court. Almost stolen away there, but Lancaster will control this one. Ball up to Addison Morgan. She'll kick on the baseline to Olmsted, and Olmsted back out to Addison Morgan. Morgan facing tight pressure from Eliza Ingwell. Gets it over to Olmsted. Olmsted wants to go in, now back out. 3-ball on the way from Morgan, and it drops. A triple for Addison Morgan. And just like that, a quick 5-0 lead for the Arrows. Ingwell, minute and a half in, swings over to Kroll. Schultz will fire the deep 3, and the response is true from Jaden Schultz. Jaden Schultz on the board first here for Mineral Point with a triple. Down the other way for the Arrows. Here's Olmsted. Looking inside, ball on the deck, and we'll get a held ball. Possession arrow in favor of Mineral Point. Lancaster Auto Body in Lancaster specializes in top-quality collision repair, leaving your vehicle looking as good as new. Lancaster Auto Body, where they say, we meet by accident. See them at LancasterAutoBodyLLC.com. And Southwest Health, over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty service at southwesthealth.org. Lindsay rejected on that one. Here come the Arrows down the floor the other way. Up top, it's Nielsen. It's a 5-3 lead for Lancaster. About 2 minutes into this one. Morgan to the baseline. Olmsted, her jumper too strong. There's an offensive rebound and a tie-up. This time we'll keep it with Lancaster, as Martin and Schultz both had hold of that one. Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point congratulates the Mineral Point girls basketball team on a great season. For tune-ups, new tires, and complete diagnostic, visit the experts at Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point. Arrows get it into Martin, and it's rejected by Cabot. Here goes Cabot the other way, switching hands, kicking it into the defense. A turnover there. Lancaster working their way inside, and they'll go back out. Martin into the lane, and she finishes on the glass. That's 4 quick points for Annie Martin. Here's Eliza Ingwell, 7-3 Lancaster. 3 minutes to this one. Schultz, another 3. That one off the mark. Rebound won by Annie Martin of the Arrows. And a walk. This one going the other way. Brian Steffes Construction is your local Wick building dealer in Mineral Point, serving all of Southwest Wisconsin since 1996. Put Wick Buildings, your dreams, and Brian Steffes Construction's expertise to work for you. Here's Eliza Ingwell. Kroll kicks to Ingwell. Cabot over to Lindsay. Head fake. Back to Cabot up top. Cabot over to Ingwell. Ingwell, floater, no good, and Ingwell will pick up the foul. No, actually, we'll get that foul on a different pointer. That's going to go on Ella Kroll by the looks of it. No, we'll keep it on Ingwell. So that foul will go on Eliza Ingwell. Three and a half minutes into this one, a 7-3 lead for the Arrows. Here's Martin. Back out to Olmstead. She drives and kicks back. Morgan up top to Martin. Martin feeds to Addison Morgan on the far side wing. Shot up, no good. Rebound. Not claimed by anyone because we've got a foul against the Arrows. That's going to go on Jessica Morgan. Schneidels Heating and Cooling, your local Daikin dealer. Call Bradley Schneider for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning service from Schneidels Heating and Cooling, Bloomington. Here's Ingwell. Works to her right. Back out to Kroll. Kroll inside. Steps through and finishes on the glass. There's Ella Kroll's first bucket of the night. 7-5 Lancaster. Martin loses it. Now to the baseline, open jumper for Nielsen. That won't fall. Rebound won by the Arrows and keeping it alive. Deep three on the way. No good from Jessica Morgan. Cabot climbs the ladder to collect the rebound. Pointers could tie or take their first lead on this possession. Down two. Entry pass to Cabot. Swung to Lindsay. Lindsay, three ball on the way. No good. Arrows take the board. Down the other way. Stolen right back by Lindsay. Lindsay to Ingwell. Ingwell cutting to the lane. Too strong on the glass, won't go. Under the 13-minute mark, 7-5, the Arrow lead, and we'll make that 9-5 on the made basket by Maddie Nielsen, her first of the night. One thing we saw with Lancaster when they played Iowa Grant is how versatile their offense is, how many different scorers they have. They've got a 4-point lead here. On the other end, Lindsay kicks to Schultz. Schultz, she drives, left-handed floater, won't go, out of bounds. It'll stay with Mineral Point, stay with the Pointers. Brought to you tonight by Eggers Enterprise in Mineral Point, specializing in residential, commercial, landscaping, and hardscaping, now including lawn care and hydro seeding. They'll always exceed your expectations. Check them out on the web or Facebook and call Lane today. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy's Construction is a family-owned and operated ready-mix and aggregate excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. Kroll up top, Schultz, three ball on the way. No good, too strong. Rebound won by Cabot. Into the hands of Schultz, and she collects the two. 9-7 the lead here for Lancaster. We're about 6 minutes through this one, approaching the 12-minute mark. Morgan drives, kicks, and that one rattles home. That's good for number 13, Nicole Kelly, on her first made bucket of the night. Back the other way for the Pointers. Ingwell backs out, swings to Lindsay. Lindsay scoreless so far. Lindsay to Ingwell. Inside to Lindsay. Trying to step through. Nothing there. Loses it. And we'll get a foul. It's going to go on the Arrows. That's the first on Annie Martin. As I mentioned, Martin did foul out against IG. As it stands, one team foul on Mineral Point, 2 on the Arrows. Inbound here goes to Schultz. Kroll, she'll fire the three. And it drops a triple for Ella Kroll. Now just a 1-point game. Up the floor comes Martin. Loses her dribble into the hands of Lindsay. Now Lindsay to her right. switching hands, and has it ripped away from her. Here comes Jessica Morgan the other way. And that one turned over into the hands of Ingwell, out of bounds. What's the call going to be? Ref's going to have a discussion. If there's no foul called, it's going to be Lancaster ball. Some subs here. Cassie Nimitz into the game for Lancaster. She'll replace Martin. 11-10, Lancaster, 11 minutes on the clock here. Ingwell gets a hand on that one, and we'll have an over and back. Subs coming in here for Mineral Point. Sophie Miller, Ava Ingwell both into the game for the first time this season. Ava Ingwell, a pointer who played pretty much the entire first half of this season on the JV roster before being moved up to varsity, where she's since seen herself move up the rotation. Green also into the game for the Arrows. Miller kicks inside to Lindsay. Lindsay finishes, and there is a lead for Mineral Point. 12-11 now as we're under the 11-minute mark. Here's Nemitz to Nielsen in the corner. She relocates up top now, trying to swing it inside. No good, but we'll get a foul on Cabot. That'll be her first. And that'll send Maddie Nielsen to the free throw line to shoot 2. Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld, the Nate Stocco PAC, provides exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center, better health starts here. First free throw, no good for Nielsen. Also brought to you by Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main in Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville, and Bryan's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Bryan's get the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, head to Bryan's Auto Body and Paint, Lancaster. Second one up and good for Nielsen. That puts her to 3 points on the night. 12-12, all tied up in this one. We'll get a travel here against Mineral Point. So this one going to be going the other way. Here comes the inbound. Arrows working this one up the court. Up top, here's Nemitz. Goes to her right, now looking inside. Morgan, too strong, can't finish. Ava Ingwell pulls down the rebound. Here we go, back the other way. Miller kicks, Lindsay, baseline, Kroll, fakes, inside, floater, got it. Ella Kroll with that one up to 7 points on the night. On the other end, we'll get a 3-ball from Nemitz. That won't fall. Dannenberg controls the rebound. Now a 14-2 lead for Mineral Point. Here's Ingwell. Lindsay back to Kroll. Kroll up top to Dannenberg. Ingwell drives it inside, and she travels. We'll get a double dribble, rather. Brought to you tonight by Russell Law Offices, here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. McNett Electric of Belmont can assist you with all your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call and ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric, Belmont. Nimitz trapped, gets it over here. Martin backs it out to Olmstad. Now Nimitz throws that one out of bounds. It'll be Mineral Point ball. Claire Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, is proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender, and Ayers Furniture in downtown Ridgeway for free delivery on heirloom quality furniture for every room in your home. Be sure to visit Ayers Furniture and at ayersfurniture.com. Here's Miller. Drives inside, off the glass. Can't get it to drop. Rebound to the Arrows, Martin. Nimitz going the other way. Kicks to Morgan. Back to Martin. 14-12, Mineral Point. 8:20 on the clock here, first half. We get a 3-ball here, but a travel called before that shot had a chance of going down. That one going the other way. TC Networks of Platteville, from IT consulting to security cameras, door access control, and more. Learn more about how they can help you at tcnetworks.com. Approaching our 8-minute mark, about 10 minutes through the first half here. Mineral Point High School. Schultz to Miller. She'll fire the 3. That one off back iron, no good. Rebound to the Arrows. Olmstad going the other way. Leaves for Addison Morgan. Now back out to Annie Martin. Martin inside to Nimitz, back to Martin. Back up top. There's Green inside. Goes to Nimitz. And they'll reset now. Cross-court pass, too strong. Turnover, that'll be Mineral Point basketball. TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch at Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Jury and the gang a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch of Cobb and Platteville. And First Supply of Platteville, your total commercial plumbing and heating wholesale outlet. When quality parts are needed, the experts rely on First Supply in Platteville. 7.5 minutes here, first half. Ingwell, deep 3, won't go. Going the other way. Ingwell steals that one away, leaves for Cabot. Cabot, open floor ahead of her. Can't get it to go, but we'll get a foul. Cabot going to go to the line for a pair of free throws. That one's going to go on Jessica Morgan. That is her second foul of the night. Something to keep an eye on. We get subs for both sides after this first free throw from Maddie Cabot. First one falls for Cabot. One more on the way for Cabot. Second one up and good as well. Cabot 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. WCC Brands, custom apparel in Kieler and at WCC-brands.com. 16-12, now the Mineral Point lead approaching the 7-minute mark here in our First Supply first half. Ball on the deck. Who's got it will get a held ball. Possession arrow in favor of Mineral Point. Mount City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in a Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. And Rural Mutual agents John Raggett and Deneen Dahl with Raggett & Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them today at their office in Lancaster. Here's Lacey Lindsay up top for Mineral Point. She'll swing it over to Maddie Cabot. Now Kroll up top, looks for Schultz. Schultz to Lindsay. Lindsay head fakes and passes to Ingwell inside. Schultz leaves for Cabot. Baseline going to be fouled. That foul is going to be on Maddie Nielsen. That's her first, and that's team foul number 4 on the Arrows. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC, and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, serving you in Fenimore, Lancaster, and Boscobel. Always on call, always the right call. H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, serving Southwest Wisconsin 24/7 since 1958. Cabot gets that 2 to go on the inside. Her first field goal of the night to give the Pointers a 6-point lead, 18-12 in our First Supply first half. Arrows looking to respond, and another turnover. And we'll get a timeout here for Coach Feller, and the Arrows will stay here for this one. We'll start with a quick check on the Shoebox scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the large independent shoe store in the Midwest. Schulzberg leads Ithaca 15-2. Just about the 10-minute in the first half there. Steve Prestegard in Illinois. It's Pecatonica over East Dubuque, 12-8 after the first quarter. The Platteville girls leading Broadhead 19-2, about 7 minutes through that one. Those are scores on the Shoebox scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Brought to you tonight by Southwest Health. Over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can always have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty service at southwesthealth.org. Back to the action here. Approaching the 6-minute mark in the first half, where it's an 18-12 lead for Mineral Point. Lacey Lindsay with the ball here. Works it inside, goes back out to Cabot. Cabot walks. Danzato Center Mineral Point congratulates the Mineral Point girls basketball team on a great season. For tune-up, new tires, and complete diagnostics, visit the experts at Danzato Center in Mineral Point. Here's Olmstead. Over to Nielsen, back to Olmstead. Nielsen. And this one going to be kicked by Kroll. Farmers Implement in Mineral Point proudly supports Mineral Point Pointer basketball. At Farmers Implement, Mineral Point service has been a tradition for over 40 years. We have what you need to get the job done. Here's Ava Green, works to her right. She'll go back to Nielsen, back to Green. Nielsen swings it over to Olmstead. Now Nielsen to Green. Olmstead can't find anywhere to go. She'll go back up top to Nielsen. Now that entry pass stolen away. Lindsay back the other way. Over to Eliza Ingwell. Ingwell inside. Cabot. Schultz. 3-ball in the air. And good. Jaden Schultz with the 3-ball to give Mineral Point now a 9-point lead, 21-12, with another Lancaster turnover. Brought to you by Brian Steffes Construction, your local WIC building dealer in Mineral Point, serving all of Southwest Wisconsin since 1996. Put WIC Buildings, your dreams, and Brian Steffes Construction's expertise to work for you. An Eggers Enterprise in Mineral Point, specializing in residential, commercial, landscaping, and hardscaping, now including lawn care and hydro seeding. They'll always exceed your expectations. Check them out on the web or Facebook and call Lane today. Kroll over to Cabot. Now Kroll looks for Lindsay. Lindsay to Cabot. Kroll, that one's stolen away. Lancaster going back the other way. Addison Morgan leads the charge. She'll go over to Olmstead. Now back to Morgan. Morgan to Olmstead. Inside and back out to Nielsen. 4.5 to play here. 21-12. Mineral Point Pointers are on a 9-0 scoring run. And this is going to be another Lancaster turnover. And backcourt violation. Ivy's Construction Mineral Point is a family-owned and operated ready-mix aggregate and excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. Ivy's Construction Mineral Point. Schneidels Heating and Cooling, your local Daikin dealer. Call Bradley Schneider for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning service. From Schneidels Heating and Cooling in Bloomington and Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque. Powering our audio stream, Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, when you are ready. Here's Sophie Miller. She goes over to Lindsay. Lindsay inside. Cabot elevates and gets 2. Maddie Cabot up to 6 on the night with that one there. Arrows back the other way. Driscoll goes over to Morgan. Now Olmstead stolen away by Cabot, and Cabot called for the double dribble. Brought to you tonight by Grant Regional Health Center's Ortho team. Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provides exceptional care for sport-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center, better health starts here. Inbound to Kylie Olmstead. Olmstead over to Morgan, and this one saved, but we're going to get a foul as Sophie Miller. Looks like we won't get a foul, just out of bounds. Miller kind of slipped into Morgan there. It'll be Lancaster ball as they inbound it from in front of that Mineral Point bench. 3:45 on the clock here in the first half. 23-12. Here's a 3-ball from Driscoll, and it falls. Driscoll, the 5'10 freshman, with her first points of the night on that one, and that ends the scoring drought for Lancaster. Lindsay over to Schultz. Cabot swings to Schultz. Schultz with the head fake will go to Kroll. Now Kroll, she'll fire the 3. That one no good, and a foul gonna go on the Pointers If that is on Cabot, which it is, that is her second. Just the fourth team foul on Mineral Point. Third team foul, rather, but something to keep an eye on there. Cabot will check out, maybe for the last time of the half. Just 3:10 to go. Dannenberg in her place. Inside. That one no good from Nemitz, out of bounds. It'll be Mineral Point basketball. Russell Law Offices, here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. Jaden Schultz kicks to Lacey Lindsay. Lindsay to Schultz. Now Dannenberg up top. Over to Miller. She'll try the deep two. That one too strong. Up for grabs. Out of bounds. And it'll stay with Mineral Point. .240 to go here. It's an 8-point lead. Inbound here goes to Schultz. Works it inside, back to Lindsay. 3-ball on the way. No good as that goes over the back of the backboard. It'll be Lancaster basketball. Hermson's Ace Hardware in Home Center in Bloomington and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main in Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. We'll get a 3-ball here from Driscoll. That one off the mark. Offensive rebound for Olmstad, and the 2 falls there. That's the first bucket of the night for Kylie Olmstad. And that cuts the Mineral Point lead down to 6. Here's Dannenberg. Dannenberg over to Miller. Miller travels. Just about 2 minutes to go in this half. Can feel the arrows starting to build a little bit of momentum offensively. Bryant's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Bryant's get the job done right for unexpected dings or major repair projects. Head to Bryant's Auto Body and Paint, Lancaster. Up top, there's Nielsen kicking to Olmstad. Back to Nielsen as we're under 2 to play in the First Supply first half. Olmstad. Now Driscoll up top. Back to Nielsen. Olmstad on the far side wing. Now Driscoll. Nielsen, deep 2. Short. Rebound won by the Arrows. Swung back over to Olmstad. Driscoll. Shot fake up top. Nielsen. She'll go near the free throw line. Back out. 3-ball on the way. No good. And it's saved there by Nemitz, but thrown into the hands of Ella Kroll. Kroll slings it to Lindsay. Lindsay goes back to Schultz. She'll go to Kroll with 1 minute to go in the half. Down under 60 seconds on the clock. Schultz sees a lane. Back out to Miller. Miller goes to Lindsay. Down to 40 seconds. Lindsay, deep 3. That one no good. Bricks off the back rim. Down to 40 seconds. Arrows gonna push it offensively. Driscoll inside. She'll back it out. That ball on the deck, and we'll get a timeout called here by the Arrows. It'll be a full timeout. We'll take one, too. Back after that on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 2. Do you enjoy playing sports and watching other people compete? Here's a great opportunity for you to get involved. You can make significant income while providing a great community service by becoming a WIAA licensed official. It gives you the opportunity to be involved, stay in shape, and assist in providing the lifelong lessons from education-based athletics. Signing up is easy. Just go to WIAAWI.org. Access the Officials tab to get started today. This message is from Queen Bee Radio and the WIAA.
Looking to upgrade your windows? Look no further than Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington. Whether it's the elegance of Hunter Douglas window treatments or the beauty of Carroll Fabrics custom draperies, Hermson's has the perfect solution for your home with top quality products and expert service. Hermson's will measure and install, taking the stress out of your project. Don't wait. Call Hermson's today to schedule your appointment and transform your windows with style and sophistication. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
In Game 2.
Back on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL here. 30 seconds to go in this first half between the Pointers and the Arrows. It's a 23-17 lead for Mineral Point over Lancaster. Arrows with the ball, under 30 to play. Nielsen up top, working with a 6-point lead. Over to Olmstead. Olmstead under 20. Goes back to Nielsen. Nielsen to Nimitz. Back out to Nielsen. She'll drive. Layup. Won't go. Schultz with 6 seconds. Taken right back away from her. Ball on the deck. 2 seconds. Nimitz, 3 ball. Can't get it to go. And at the half, Mineral Point will go into the break with a 23-17. We'll take another break. Back after this on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 3, Steve Schmidt's Sports Treasures Plus in Stoughton has unique team treasures. They have over 25,000 signed sports cards, plus autographed photos, bobbleheads, caps, signed baseballs, and more. That's Steve Schmidt's Sports Treasures Plus in Stoughton.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
In Game 3.
Back on ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. After one, the Mineral Point Pointers lead the Lancaster Flying Arrows 23-17. A quick check on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. At the half in Illinois, Hoops Pecatonica leads East Dubuque 29-24. And back here in our WIAA Girls Regional Semifinals, late first half, it's Schulzberg leading Ithaca 20-4. And at the half, River Ridge leading Wazeeka Steuben 23-16. We'll take another break. The McNett Electric halftime report after this on ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 4.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors of Belmont and Prairie du Chien is who to call for top quality CHI overhead doors. Enhance the curb appeal and security of your home by choosing the fine line of CHI overhead doors from Carey's. And when it comes to seamless gutters that keep your home protected from water damage, Carey's has you covered too. Visit Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com today to learn more. They'll service all the rest, and they deal in the best. Get your new CHI overhead doors at Carey's Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont and Prairie du Chien.
In Game 4.
Welcome back to ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel on the McNett Electric Halftime Report. This is the McNett Electric Halftime Report. For all your electrical needs, call McNett Electric in Belmont. I'm taking a look at this one so far. It is, after one half of play, Mineral Point leading Lancaster 23-17. We'll start taking a look through this one. Kind of a slow half, a lot of turnovers on both sides, not a lot of fouls, but not great ball control for either team, and a lot of poor shot selection as well, so that kind of leading to this low score as it is just 23-17. Mineral Point put up 70 the first time they played the Arrows, and the Arrows only put up 20-3, so this is a much, much closer margin. Just a 6-point difference between the two schools with where we stand now, so definitely something to keep our eye on as we go forward. Taking a look at the stats. First for the visitors from Lancaster, Maddie Driscoll with 3 points. Annie Martin has got 4 points and a foul. Maddie Nielsen, 3 points and a foul. Nicole Kelly and Kylie Olmstead both with 2. Addison Morgan with 3 points. Jessica Morgan, just a pair of fouls to her name. On the other side for Mineral Point, Jaden Schultz with 8. Lacey Lindsay's got 2. Maddie Cabot, 6 and a pair of fouls. Eliza Ingwell, 1 foul, and Ella Kroll, 7 points. That's your stat breakdown for both sides. We'll talk about some keys to the second half and take a look at what's going on at state wrestling up in Madison after this on ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 5.
Hello, Amy here from Cuba City Family Dental. Part of our dedication to excellence in the dental services we offer are same-day crowns. Instead of return visits to our office, we can diagnose and fix your tooth in one day at any of our 3 convenient locations. Call us when you are in need and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Are you thinking of buying or selling a home? Hit a home run with Home Key Real Estate. Kim Bussin is your local real estate expert and 5-star agent buying. They have a state-of-the-art website for all your searching needs. They provide first-time homebuyer assistance with the experience to help you find your perfect dream home. Selling? No problem. Ask about their discounted commission rates, free home evaluation, and available live or online auction services. Call one of our agents or call 608-642-0750 and ask for Kim. For your key to the future, go to homekeysearch.com today.
In Game 5.
Back on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, heading into our second half here in this regional semifinal game between Lancaster and Mineral Point, where it's the Pointers up 23-17. Let's take a quick look at some state wrestling results up in Madison. Quick for Lancaster at 106. William Cradwell lost in his first round, did win that consolation first round by a fall in a time of 3:39. Nolan Hankey won his first round before losing to Mineral Point's Cade Rule in the quarterfinal. He won his first consolation match in a fall at a time of 1:23, and wrestling over for Nolan Wolf, pinned in 3:46 in his first round, lost 10-2 in that consolation. On the girls' side, Olivia Ball done as well, as she lost her first round and her first consolation match. Taking a look at Mineral Point for the girls. First, Delia Collins into the semifinals. No results on her yet. For Emily Heisner, Heisner won her first in a pin, was pinned in her second, but did win her first consolation match 2-0. And for the Mineral Point boys, Memphis Burkhalter won his first 2 before losing to the 51-4 Lenoble of Wyawega Fremont 13-6. He'll wrestle for third place. Liam Carey, winner of his first consolation. Elliot Kite done for the Pointers as he goes 0-2 at state. Sammy Springer as well, also 0-2 at state. His wrestling is over. Rowan Carey soon will wrestle his semifinal. Jacob Dannenberg will continue wrestling to try and reach the podium as he won his consolation. Emmett Collins done wrestling as he has lost his 2 matches, and Cade Rule will also wrestle his semifinal later tonight. Let's talk keys to the second half back here in this one for both sides tonight. For Lancaster, they've got to keep playing the stingy defense that they've been playing and keep crashing the boards the way they've been playing. Good team. Both teams doing a good job of limiting fouls, but for Lancaster, they got to limit those turnovers. And for Mineral Point, better shot selection, limiting turnovers as well. We'll take another break here as we get into the second half shortly. 23-17, Mineral Point leading Lancaster in the regional semifinals on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 6.
Speeding and reckless driving are leading causes of injuries and deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Whether you're an athlete or a spectator, control your drive on our streets, county roads, and highways to keep all travelers safe. Don't speed. Don't be reckless. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. This message from the Queen Bee Radio family of stations and the WIAA.
Like any business, success in dairying is often determined by who you know rather than what you know. That's why it's good to know the pros at Fuller's, your Gia dealer. Fuller's is your source for the hygiene brand of products, as well as other dairy hygiene products. Make your operation more efficient and profitable, and get the most out of your dairy herd by partnering with the experts at Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster, Richland Center, and Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com.
In Game 6.
Welcome back to ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. 23-17, the Mineral Point lead as we're about to get underway in this second half of basketball from Mineral Point High School. Brought to you today by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Learn more at MountainCityBank.com. And Community First Bank for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com. Member FDIC underway in the second half. Lancaster with control of the basketball to start us off. Arrows on the near sides over to Addison Morgan. Now Olmstad will get a foul on Mineral Point. That's going to go on Jaden Schultz. First on the team, that's Schultz's first personal tonight. Rural Mutual agents John Raggett and Deneen Dahl with Raggett and Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them today at their office in Lancaster. Here's the inbound to the Arrows to Martin. Now over to Olmstad. She tries a three, and it's good. There's the first three for Kylie Olmstad to make this just a three-point game. Now Lacey Lindsay goes to Cabot. Cabot to Kroll. Kroll pump fakes. Now over to Cabot. Cabot attacks inside and gets two on the glass. And we'll get a foul here on Mineral Point. See who that one's on. It's going to go on Eliza Ingwell. That's Ingwell's second. Two quick team fouls on Mineral Point this half in the first 48 seconds. Here are the Arrows. Addison Morgan goes over to Olmstad. Now Morgan will go to Martin. Martin inside, and she travels. H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, serving you in Fenimore, Lancaster, and Boscobel. Always on call, always the right call. H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, serving Southwest Wisconsin 24/7 since 1958. Here's Lindsay over to Cabot. Ingwell feeds Lindsay. Lindsay steps through and finds two. Back the other way. Morgan kicks to Olmstad. Now Morgan. Martin left alone. Back out, three ball on the way, and it drops. Kylie Olmstad with a triple. 27-23, Mineral Point leads. Cabot over to Ingwell eventually. Now Ingwell inside is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line for two. That's going to go on Annie Martin, her second. That'll send Ingwell to the line for two. Farmers Implement Mineral Point proudly supports Mineral Point Pointer basketball. At Farmers Implement in Mineral Point, service has been a tradition for over 40 years. We have what you need to get the job done, as that's Ingwell good on number one. Also brought to you tonight by Dan's Auto Center of Mineral Point, congratulating the Mineral Point girls basketball team on a great season. For tune-ups, new tires, and complete diagnostic, visit the experts at Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point. And Southwest Health, over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty service at southwesthealth.org. Ingwell good on both. Now that one stolen away by Lindsay. Pointers going the other way. Ingwell into the paint, elevates, and the two rattles home. Her first field goal of the night to give the Mineral Point Pointers an 8-point lead, 31-23. Here's Nielsen. Over to Addison Morgan. Morgan to Olmsted. That one poked and stolen away by Lindsay and the Pointers. Ingwell up ahead to Cabot. She'll take a couple dribbles and fouled on her way up. She'll go to the free throw line for 2. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy's Construction Incorporated is a family-owned and operated ready-mix aggregate and excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. That's going to be the first personal foul on Kylie Olmsted, and that'll be the second foul on the Arrows this half as Cabot short on her first. Eggers Enterprises Mineral Point, specializing in residential and commercial landscaping and hardscaping, now including lawn care and hydro seeding. They'll always exceed your expectations. Check them out on the web or Facebook and call Lane today. And Brian Steffes Construction is your local Wick building dealer in Mineral Point, serving all of Southwest Wisconsin since 1996. Put Wick Building's your dream and Brian Steffes Construction's expertise to work for you. Cabot is good on her second. That puts her up to 9 on the night, and it's a 10-point lead for Mineral Point, 32-23, 3 minutes into the second half. Olmsted will go over to Jessica Morgan. Now Addison Morgan. That one tipped out of bounds. Last touched by the Arrows. That one goes off of Nielsen, so it'll be Mineral Point basketball. Here comes Kroll. Schultz back to Kroll. Kroll kicks to Cabot. Cabot, baseline, out. Lindsay, she drives inside and is fouled. See that foul's on. That's going to be the third on Jessica Morgan. Third team foul here on the Arrows. That shot good there. Cabot gets the 2 to go, and she's really picked up the scoring here. That puts her into double figures, the first scorer tonight into double figures, and now a 12-point lead for Mineral Point. Here's the Arrows. Olmsted works to her right. Now kicks to Morgan. And this one gonna go out of bounds. It'll be Lancaster basketball. Give you another wrestling update. We'll tell you that Delia Collins of Mineral Point wins her semifinal 4-3 over the 2 seed, Natalie Clavetter, and now she'll wrestle Maddie Peach for a championship Saturday. Back to the action here. Over 4 minutes into the half. Lindsay gets in the way of that pass and steals it away. She'll slow things down over to Schultz. Schultz, cross-court pass. Sophie Miller, 3 ball. It drops. (37-23) now. The Mineral Point lead, and we'll get a timeout by the Arrows. We'll stay here and give you a quick check on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the large independent shoe store in the Midwest. Blackhawk leads Belmont 33-29 with 13:10 to go in that one. Prairie du Chien over River Valley 36-15. Coming out of the halftime break, 14:38 to go in the second half as it's River Ridge and Wazeeka Steuben tied at 23 apiece. Cuba City, wow, they lead Parkview 60-13 at halftime. Safe to say that the winner of this game's got a date in Cuba City tomorrow. Barneveld leads Potosi-Cassville 33-13 at the half. And at the half, it's Schulzberg over Ithaca 29-5. And Platteville over Broadhead 40-14. Here's the inbound to the Arrows, to Martin. She works to her right. And Olmsted saves that. Now stolen away. Schultz. Ball thrown up ahead. Lindsay couldn't track it down and stolen right back away by Driscoll. Here come the Arrows back the other way. Olmsted leaves for Martin. Now Driscoll, she'll fire the 3, and that one, no good. Just too strong. Rebound pops to Martin. She'll go back to Driscoll. Martin on the far side perimeter, works it inside, and she travels. Brought to you tonight by Magnet Electric of Belmont. Can assist you with all your electrical needs. Chip and his crew, Magnet Electric, are on call and ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. Magnet Electric, Belmont. 37-23. Mineral Point leads this one with 12:44 to go in the second half. Lindsay works to her right. She'll kick back out to Cabot. Cabot, Kroll, Miller. Miller inside to Cabot. Back out. Lindsay, 3-ball on the way. No good. Too strong. Annie Martin rips down the rebound. Ayers Furniture in downtown Ridgeway for free delivery on heirloom quality furniture. For every room in your home, be sure to visit Ayers Furniture and AyersFurniture.com as Cabot goes coast to coast and gets 2 on that one. (39-23) Mineral Point in the lead now, and this Pointer defense becoming a little too much for the Arrows. Driscoll over to Olmsted. Now Martin loses it, regains possession, trying to work on Cabot. Switches hands back to her right, looking inside for Driscoll. Driscoll goes up and gets the 2. Claire Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, is proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Here's Kroll. Up top to Cabot. Now Schultz to Cabot, and this one going to be a held ball. Possession going to keep it with Mineral Point. Guys Truck and Tractor for heavy-duty towing and recovery, reliable 24-hour roadside service and long-distance transports. Call on Guys Truck and Tractor in Kieler and at guystruck.com. Bytech Resource Management at Greener Way. Bytech Resource Management of Monroe and Sloan. Implement your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montfort, and Sloans.com. Here's the inbound to Cabot. She'll take a dribble, elevate, and it's blocked, but Lindsay picks up the rebound. Another opportunity on the way for the Pointers. Cabot inside, open space, and gets the 2. Her big scoring night continues as she's up to 15 on that one. Back the other way for the Arrows. Jessica Morgan back into the game. Goes to Nielsen. Now Driscoll. Inside. Nielsen gets the 2 to go off the glass. Just her 5th point of the game and her 2nd field goal. Now 41-27, Mineral Point approaching the 10-minute mark. Here's Miller to Lindsay. Inside, Kroll, fouled, free throws on the way. Carver's Hardwood Flooring for hardwood flooring, stair installation, and refinishing needs. Call Ryan Carver, the only Natural Wood Flooring Association certified installer, sander, and finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. That's foul number 3 on Annie Martin. Alec Kroll, pretty steady free throw shooter, going to get 2 at the line here. First one on the way for Kroll, no good. Krantz Auto Parts, your local hardware, Hank and Napa dealers. See Rob Krantz and the crew at Krantz Auto Parts for full service repair on cars and light trucks to Krantz Auto Parts of Fenimore. Carey, Seamless Gutters and Doors of Belmont. Prairie du Chien at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com and People's State Bank for personal, home, business, and ag loans. Visit one of their convenient area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC. Kroll, no good on those 2 free throws there. 41-27, Mineral Point, 10:20 on the clock. Martin over to Jessica Morgan. Morgan, double comes. Now Martin to Nielsen. Back to Martin. Loses that one, regains possession. And we're going to get a foul on Mineral Point. That's going to be Eliza Ingwell's 3rd foul. There's the first Pointer in foul trouble there. Ava Ingwell will return to the game here to replace her sister Eliza. Now 10:05 on the clock. Still that 14-point lead for Mineral Point. Here's the 3-ball from Jessica Morgan. That one won't go too strong. Maddie Cabot with the rebound. Cabot to Kroll. And we'll get a timeout from Coach Jelly. And the Pointers will take 1-2. Back after this on ESPN Radio and 5090 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 7.
Hi, this is Christine Raleigh of Raleigh Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shellsburg.
Get spring started at the Queen Bee Radio Andrews Ag Supply Home and Outdoor Show, Saturday, March 22nd from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Lancaster. Talk to DeBurr Enterprises when you need landscaping, retaining walls, and custom patios. Andrews Ag Supply can help you with precision planning on any parts you may need back in the field. Pages and Parcels offers unique home decor, books, wellness, and more. Plus, someone will win tickets to Tim McGraw at the Field of Dreams at the Queen Bee Radio Home and Outdoors Show, Saturday, March 22nd.
In Game 7.
Back on ESPN Radio AM 5090 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Under 10 to go here in Mineral Point, as it's the Pointers with a 41-27 lead over the Lancaster Flying Arrows. As we said, it was Cuba City at the half in that game, leading Parkview by a score of 60-13. So the winner probably going to be in Cuba City tomorrow night. Back to the action here. It said 9:30 to go in this first half. Mineral Point. There's Lindsay. Over to Miller. Ella Kroll up top. Looks over to Cabot. Cross-court pass to Ava Ingwell. Ingwell inside. Cabot up top. Miller. 3-ball on the way. And it drops. Sophie Miller with her second three-point bucket there. And a steal by Kroll. Miller kicks back to Kroll. She's got an open three. And that one won't go. And we'll get an over-the-back foul on Lacey Lindsay. Boz Electric, call Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Boz Electric, Lancaster and Fenimore, Gary's Pest Control in Dickeyville and Gary's Pest Control. Salutes our local athletes, Gary's Pest Control, over 40 years of professional friendly service, and Donnie's Serenado. Call the only hooker in town for 24-hour towing service at 568-3014, 568-3014. You're home for excellent car care. It's Donnie's Tire and Auto in Dickeyville. Well, we can officially tell all of our Pointer fans listening here that Rowan Carey is a winner by a 9-1 decision and will wrestle for a state championship tomorrow. Back to the action here, 44-27, 8:45 on the clock. Almost stolen away there by Sophie Miller. Jessica Morgan fires the three. That one too strong as she's still looking for her first made field goal of the night. Up ahead to Ella Kroll, now Cabot. Off the glass, gets it to go. And here's the offense for Mineral Point. Their lead stretched up to 19 on that one. Back the other way, Cabot carries. It's a turnover. Farmers Implement Mineral Point proudly supports Mineral Point Pointer basketball. At Farmers Implement Mineral Point, service has been a tradition for over 40 years. We have what you need to get the job done. And brought to you by Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point. Congratulating Mineral Point girls basketball on a great season. For tune-ups, new tires, and complete diagnostic, visit the experts at Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point. This one stolen away by Cabot into the hands of Ava Ingwell. Ingwell almost lost it. She'll go over to Kroll now. Cross-court pass to Schultz. Schultz to Ingwell. Inside, Kroll somehow doesn't lose that one. Now Miller, she'll get a three. No good. Rebound falls to Annie Martin. Here come the arrows the other way. Olmstead leaves for Nielsen. She'll try the three. That one rolls out and a jump ball. Possession keeps it with Lancaster. Lancaster Auto Body in Lancaster specialize in top quality collision repair, leaving your vehicle looking as good as new. Lancaster Auto Body, where they say we meet by accident. See them at LancasterAutoBodyLLC.com. Here's the inbound, and the Arrows just save that one in front of the Pointer score table. Passed over to Addison Morgan here. Under 7.5 to play. Now, almost stolen away, and is stolen away. But that one called an over and back. Good call by the ref there. As Miller, trying to save that one, threw it into the backcourt. Southwest Health has over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. 7:10 to go here in this one. Still a 19-point lead for Mineral Point, 46-27. Here's Addison Morgan to Miller. Back to Morgan. She'll try a three. That one short. Rebound. Chased down by Kroll. Ella Kroll will slow things down as she takes it up the floor for the Pointers. Schultz. Over to Ingwell. Now Kroll. Goes to Miller. Ingwell on the near side in the corner to Cabot. Cabot will leave for Kroll, and Mineral Point working this one around the outside here on this possession, taking some time off the clock. Here's the cross-court pass to Sophie Miller. Now to Kroll. Kroll goes back out to Schultz. She'll try the three. Fouled. And 3 free throws on the way for Jaden Schultz. Brian Steffes Construction, your local WIC building dealer in Mineral Point. Serving all of Southwest Wisconsin since 1996, but WIC buildings your dreams and Brian Steffes Construction's expertise to work for you, as that is going to be the second foul on Kylie Olmstead. First free throw for Schultz is good. That puts Schultz up to 9 on the night. She'll get 2 more. Second free throw. Up and good as well. 1 more on the way for Schultz. Lancaster Auto Body in Lancaster. Specialize in top quality collision repair, leaving your vehicle looking as good as new. Lancaster Auto Body, where they say we meet by accident. See them at LancasterAutoBodyLLC.com. 1 more free throw on the way for Schultz. That one up, and it's 3 for 3 on that trip to the line for the Pointer junior. (49-27). Mineral Point lead. That one's stolen away by Cabot. Lindsay kicks to Eliza Ingwell. Ingwell back to Lindsay. Cabot. Lindsay in the near corner. Goes over to Kroll. Kroll backs it out. Now inside. Cabot gets fouled. That'll be number 6.5 on Lancaster. Next foul will put Mineral Point at the line for the rest of the half, as that will be Cassie Nemitz's first foul. Mountain City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop it at Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. And Community First Bank, for unique communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFbank.com. Member FDIC. Here's the inbound to Eliza Ingwell. She'll back it out to Lacey Lindsay. Now Miller. Lindsay over to Ingwell. Schultz kicks to Cabot. I'd like to congratulate Lacey Lindsay on hitting her 1,000th career point, the last time that her Pointers took the floor against Fenimore last week. Coming just the 10th Pointer to do so, so congratulations to her. Here with 5:15 to play, it's a 49-27 lead for Mineral Point. Olmstead in the near wing. Goes over to Addison Morgan. She'll take the mid-range jumper. That one off the mark. Rebound out of bounds off of Lindsay. Rural Mutual agents John Raggett and Deneen Dahl with Raggett & Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them today at their office in Lancaster. We'll take this one, too, back after this on ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 8.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
Looking to refresh your home with a pop of color? Hermson's Ace Hardware has got you covered. Discover the stunning Magnolia Home Collection by Joanna Gaines, along with trusted lines like Clark & Kensington, Benjamin Moore, and Royal Paints. Whether you're tackling a weekend project or a full home makeover, we have the perfect paint for you, including state-of-the-art color matching. So if it's a fresh coat of what you've loved for years or a new look for your home, visit Hermson's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
In Game 8.
Welcome back to ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Just under 5 minutes to play here at Mineral Point, and it's the Pointers with a 49-27 lead over the Lancaster Flying Arrows, trying to punch their ticket to the regional final. We get a foul here on Sophie Miller. That'll send Maddie Driscoll to the free throw line to shoot 3 free throws. H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, serving you in Fenimore, Lancaster, and Boscobel. Always on call, always the right call. H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, serving you in Southwest Wisconsin 24/7 since 1958. Driscoll, good on her first. That puts the freshman for the Arrows up to 6 on the night. Now for number 2. That one up and good. One more on the way for her. Third one, good as well. 3 for 3. On that trip to the line is Driscoll. Lancaster Auto Body in Lancaster specializes in top-quality collision repair, leaving your vehicle looking as good as new. Lancaster Auto Body, where they say we meet by accident. See them at LancasterAutoBodyLLC.com. Here's Ingwell on the outside. Works right, drives, high off the glass. Can't get it to go, but a foul and free throws coming up for Ingwell. That foul is going to go on Kylie Olmstead. That's her third. Mineral Point would be shooting free throws regardless. That officially pushes them into the bonus. Eggers Enterprises in Mineral Point, specializing in residential, commercial landscaping, and hardscaping, now including lawn care and hydro seeding. They'll always exceed your expectations. Check them out on the web or Facebook and call Lane today. First one good for Eliza Ingwell. One more on the way. That one won't fall. 1 for 2 on that trip to the line. That one tipped. Controlled by Driscoll. Now more pressure for Mineral Point. And Nemitz will get it over the half court just before it's stolen away by Cabot. And we'll get a timeout by Coach Jelly and the Pointers. We will stay here for this one. It is a 20-point lead for Mineral Point. As it stands, we'll take a check on the Shoebox scoreboard, presented in the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. See where we left off. After 3 quarters, Pecatonica leads East Dubuque 49-32. It's Schulzberg over Ithaca, 39-15, under 12 to play in that one. River Ridge up on Wazeeka, Steuben 39-31 in the final 3 minutes of that one. Please stay with us after this one as we'll bring you the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show. Take a look at the fallout from this one and preview, if this holds, round 3 between Mineral Point and Lancaster. Mineral Point and Cuba City, rather. Here's Lindsay over to Schultz. Ingwell. Fouled. That'll be the first on Addison Morgan.
Foul on number 23, Addison Morgan, her first teammate. Clock 10 off the line for the Pointers. Shooting bonus.
1-1 on the way here for Ingwell. Front end won't go. Rebound chase down, and we're going to have a jump ball. So will keep it with Mineral Point. 4:05 to go in this one. Here's the inbound to Ingwell. Works left. And a miscommunication there. Schultz does save it, but regardless, that'll be a turnover. Lindsay taps that one. Pesky Mineral Point defense sees Lancaster struggling to advance that basketball. They get it over the half court there. Now in the far corner, Nemitz goes over to Nielsen. Nielsen on the baseline. This one out of bounds. It'll be Mineral Point basketball. Just over 3.5 to go in this one. Inbound here goes to Kroll, 50-30, the Mineral Point lead. Kroll works right, now switches hands to her left, trying to work her way inside, kicks back out to Ingwell. Ingwell doubled. That one saved and stolen away by Annie Martin. Now over to Kroll. Ingwell. Nemitz on the outside. Nice cut. And there's the bucket for Jessica Morgan, her first of the night on that one. Back the other way for Mineral Point with under 3 to play. Ingwell works back out to Cabot. Schultz won't take the 3. Instead, she'll drive and get 2 inside. Here's Nemitz with 2.5 to play. Hands that one off to Nielsen on the far side wing. She'll drive inside and get 2 on the glass. That puts Nielsen up to 7 on the night. And we'll get a foul on the arrows. Mineral Point will shoot free throws. That is foul number 4 on Annie Martin. Liza Ingwell has to make 1 to get 2. First one, no good. Now that one on the deck, almost stolen away by Kroll. Arrows save it. They've got numbers right now, but as Schultz tips that ball, the Mineral Point defense able to get back. Martin can't get that one to go inside, and we'll have a held ball. We'll keep it with Lancaster with 2:03 to go in this one. Arrows trying to get this one in. There is the inbound. Here comes Kroll the other way. Now Ingwell, under 2 to play. Schultz kicks, Cabot elevates and gets the 2. And we'll get a timeout for substitutions here as both coaches will empty their benches. We'll take a timeout to back after this on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 9.
It's one of the best rivalries in baseball, Milwaukee versus Chicago. Go to the game with MidwestBusTrips.com. Just pack your cooler and invite your friends. They take care of the rest. Board their buses to American Family Field in Milwaukee Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, May 2nd, 3rd, or 4th for Milwaukee versus Chicago. With departures from Platteville and Dubuque, it's a stress-free day of baseball at American Family Field. Get full trip details and purchase your tickets now at MidwestBusTrips.com.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Game 9.
Back on ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Down to our final minute. Linnell Miller gets it 2 to go for the Arrows. Mineral Point leads 18, 54-36. New 5 on the floor for both sides here as we get ready to wrap this one up. Here's Ellie Robinson over to Kinley Proust. Proust to Ava Ingwell. Ingwell back to Proust. Dannenberg inside, back to Robinson. Robinson goes to Hoffman. Now Robinson to Proust. Down to 30 seconds. Proust will kick back to Ava Ingwell. Dannenberg fouled, so that'll be free throws on the way for Dannenberg. That is the 10th team foul, so Dannenberg in the double bonus. First one drops. Dannenberg will get one more free throw. Second one won't go. Arrows back the other way. Morgan inside, fouled by Dannenberg. She's got a pair of free throws on the way. As we mentioned, don't go anywhere after this. We've got our Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show. Addison Morgan, no good on her first. One more free throw. Second one drops. And Ava Ingwell to dribble this one out. That'll do it here for Mineral Point High School in the final girls basketball game of the season for the Arrows and the final game here in this gym for this Mineral Point girls basketball team. The Pointers defeat Lancaster 55-37. We'll take a break. Back after this on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 10.
Milk has been building champions for centuries. Research shows that real milk builds pregame muscle, and low-fat chocolate milk restores postgame muscle for athletes like few other beverages. That's why the pros know they're gonna need milk to fuel their performance. Learn their inspiring stories at GonnaNeedMilk.com. GONNA needmilk.com. Brought to you by Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin.
Are you thinking of buying or selling a home? Hit a home run with Home Key Real Estate. Kim Bussin is your local real estate expert and 5-star agent. Buying? They have a state-of-the-art website for all your searching needs. They provide first-time homebuyer assistance with the experience to help you find your perfect dream home. Selling? No problem. Ask about their discounted commission rates, free home evaluation, and available live or online auction services. Call one of our agents or call 608-642-0750 and ask for Kim. For your key to the future, go to homekeysearch.com today.
In Game 10.
Back on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel and our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school playoff girls basketball presented by Cuba City Kieler and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Powered in the postseason by Tim Slack Auction and Realty and H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. We'll take one more break as Mineral Point takes down Lancaster 55-37. The Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show. After this.
Post-game 3 minutes.
a fraction of a raindrop, 3 grains of salt. At up to 100 times more potent than morphine, the tiniest amount of illegal fentanyl is all it takes to cause an overdose. Fentanyl can be mixed into heroin, cocaine, pressed pills, meth, and other drugs. It could be in your drugs, and you wouldn't be able to see it, taste it, or smell it. Learn more at CDC.
We stand on the shoulders of the women who came before us.
Women who were told they were bad with money. Women who couldn't even get a credit card without a man co-signing.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn to lead the way.
Join us at WeSaySaveIt.org,
where women of all ages and all budgets are learning how to save for retirement. You work hard.
You make money.
Now make that money work for you.
Invest in yourself at WeSaySaveIt.org.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
There are places, people, and conditions in this world that almost seem beyond hope. But not when Mercy Ships is there. Mercy Ships is a place restoring sight to the blind, happiness to the outcast, and joy to the brokenhearted. Mercy Ships is the reason why hope is now in sight. To learn more, go to mercyships.org.
Teachers shape the future. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist who will make preventing pandemics their life's work. Sharpening the Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
It is time for the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show. Edward Jones is a financial services firm serving individuals and business owners. Is your money working as hard as it should be? This is Elena Reeves with Edward Jones. If you want to provide for your children's education, reduce your tax bill, or prepare for a comfortable retirement, we need to talk. Today, more than ever, your financial security deserves the attention of full-time financial advisors. Take advantage of our years of experience. Contact financial advisors Elena or Ben Reeves at 608-348-2441 or stop by our office on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville next to Sups Nutrition. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Welcome back to ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel on the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show here from Mineral Point High School as the Pointers take down the Arrows 55-37. Tomorrow night, round 3 between Mineral Point and Cuba City. Let's start off here tonight by doing a little bit of a scoring breakdown for both sides. We'll start with Lancaster in their final game of this season. Maddie Driscoll will finish with 8 points. Annie Martin puts up 4. Maddie Nielsen has 6 points. Linnell Miller finishes with 2. Nicole Kelly, 2. Kylie Olmstead, 8 points. It's 4 points for Addison Morgan and 2 points for Jessica Morgan. On the other side, for Mineral Point, 15 points for Jaden Schultz. Izzy Dannenberg has a point. Sophie Miller puts up 6. Lacey Lindsay finishes with just 4. The big score tonight, Maddie Cabot with 19 points. Eliza Ingwell puts in 5. And finally, Ella Kroll with 7. That the scoring breakdown for Mineral Point here in this one. That gets you to your final score of 55-37. It was a tighter game at the half, just 23-17, but Mineral Point able to kind of grow out a lead, get it to around 20, where they held it for the remainder of this one. And all in all, just a good game for the Pointers. They were to limit turnovers and pick up the amount of turnovers that they caused the Arrows to commit. And Lancaster's failure to take care of the basketball is ultimately what did them in here tonight. We'll pick our Tri-Core turning point now, and that is going to be that early part of that second half where Mineral Point was able to cause all those turnovers, limit the Arrows' scoring opportunities, and take control offensively, which that control they held for the remainder of this one. That brought to you by Tri-Core Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tri-Core Insurance today. As we'll take one more break here and wrap this one up for Mineral Point High School on the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Post-game, 2 minutes.
You want to give your baby everything, so start with a safe sleep area. Babies younger than 1 should always be placed to sleep on their backs on a firm and flat surface like a safety-approved crib. And keep blankets, pillows, and other soft or loose items out of the crib when the baby is in it. Learn more about safe sleep for babies at safetoSleep.nichd.nih.gov. Sponsored by the Eunice Kennedy Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Put a frog in boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As veterans, we tell ourselves the lie that we can handle anything. We let the water boil. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Officers take an oath to serve and protect the community, but we need your help too in keeping friends and families safe. I'm Lancaster Police Chief Deb Rukoff. Scam phone calls can hit at any time, and scammers are always developing new schemes. That's why law enforcement agencies remind you to be alert for these types of calls. Prevent a crime by keeping your personal information private and hanging up on scammers. Also, if you've been a victim of a scam call, contact your local authorities.
This public service announcement courtesy of Queen Bee Radio.
Post-game, 2 minutes.
Back on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel as they've got Cade Rule and Seth Greeno's semifinal match on the video board here at Mineral Point High School, and we get ready to close this one out in Mineral Point. And girls basketball in the regional semifinals, the Pointers take down the Lancaster Flying Arrows 55-37. Let's take a look at what we've got coming up on our Queen Bee Radio family of stations over the next couple of days. This just in tomorrow's schedule, lockdown, official, final. Here's what we've got. Wrestling state coverage begins tomorrow morning at 9:40 on 97.7 Country WGLR. We'll pick up the state finals around 5:10 also on 97.7 Country WGLR. The Brewers take on the Rangers in spring training tomorrow at 2 o'clock on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. And then for our girls basketball regional finals, a quadruple header of games on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. River Ridge is at Shullsburg on X1071 Extreme Hit Music. Mineral Point is at Cuba City on Super Hits 106. It's Prairie du Chien at Platteville on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. And the winner of Belmont and Blackhawk at Barneveld. I don't think we have a score on that one in yet. I don't think we do. That one on YouTube only. All 4 of those games, we'll see the Rally Cheese pregame show start between 6:40 and 7. An outlook on next week, obviously all of this tentative, a lot subject to change. On Monday, the Brewers take on the Reds at 7:05 on ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL in spring training. Tuesday, we plan on covering the boys regional quarterfinal, basketball at Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. The boys regional quarterfinal between Lafarge and River Ridge on X1071 Extreme Hit Music and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. The regional quarterfinal between Wazeeka Steuben and Highland on Super Hits 106. And the regional quarterfinal between Judah and Belmont on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Rally Cheese pregame show at 6:40 for all 4 of those. On Wednesday, the Badgers are at Minnesota in the border battle in men's hoops at 6:30 on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. And next Thursday, the girls basketball sectional semifinals. We'll have coverage on that in our Queen Bee Radio family of stations. Thank you to Chris Carr and the staff here at Mineral Point High School for having us tonight. It's always a pleasure. Thanks to our sponsors who make our broadcast possible, and thanks to you for tuning into tonight's game. The preceding has been a Queen Bee Radio presentation of Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank High School postseason girls basketball, presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, powered at the postseason by H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, and Tim Slack Auction and Realty on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL AM Platteville. From the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, I'm Matthew Gannon. Mineral Point takes down Lancaster 55-37 to set up round 3 at Cuba City tomorrow night. The playoff push continues tomorrow with the girls basketball regional finals on our Queen Bee Radio family of stations. Signing off from Mineral Point. Have a great rest of your Friday night, folks.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation.
ESPN Radio, AM 1590, WPVL Platteville.